Last time we discussed about the crops. As you know that the food resources are different crops and plants. Now we want to know about animal husbandry. So improvement in food resources is about animal husbandry. In this chapter we will discuss the rearing, the breeding and the disease control in the animals. Here in the picture you can see that what cattle do we feed and we rear. So in the chapter animal husbandry, the improvement of food resources in the field of cattle farming. So let us talk about cattle. We always feed the cattle with our crops. So what is animal husbandry? It is the scientific management of animal livestock. It includes various aspects such as feeding, breeding and disease control. You know that in the animal husbandry there are so many types of animals that are fed by us. So cattle farming is one of them, then the poultry farming, fish production and beekeeping. So when we talk about animal husbandry, we have to take care of feeding, breeding and disease control. That means we have to feed them and the breeding, that is making a different quality or desired quality, and the disease control is very much important aspect for that. Now there are two types of cattle. One is milk producing, that is milk animals, and the other one is draught labor. They work for us in the fields. So generally the males are the draught animals and the females produce milk and they are known as dairy products. In our India, most of the milk producing cow and buffaloes, they are Bos indicus and Bos rubialis, that is buffalo. So when we feed them or breed them, the special quality that we want in them is the milking or the dairy animals. Let us talk about milk animals. What do we want to get from them? We want milk. So do you think that cow produces milk for you? No. It is producing milk for the calf. So the lactation period, that meaning the period of milk production after the birth of calf. That means cow produces milk for the calf. So the lactation period is different in different types of varieties. And we want to increase the lactation period. For that, we use cross breeding. You know that there are two types of varieties around us. Some are exotic or foreign varieties and some are local breeds. So when they are having their speciality in them, their exotic variety have long lactation period and the Indian varieties, they have good resistance. So when we crossbreed them, you can see in the calf we see both the characters, excellent resistance to the diseases and long lactation period, both are present. So for them, what is the requirement of food? For the animal itself to keep himself healthy, they need maintenance requirement. That is a type of food which is keeping the animal healthy, and the other is milk producing requirement. So what are those requirements? They should have roughage, they should have concentrates and the additives which make the animal healthy and give a good output of milk in dairy animals. Now how should we keep them? These are the food requirements. If we keep the animal healthy, then the product will be also a good one and we get rich milk from the dairy products. So these requirements should be fulfilled by us so that we can get a healthy production, that is good quality of milk. So let us talk about the animal shelter. How should we keep them? We should keep them with a humane farming. What do you mean by humane? We should be kind to them. As we are getting the production from them, we are rearing them for our own selfishness. Even then, we should be very much kind to them. So what are the requirements for their shelter? Good. Everyday regular brushing to remove dirt and lost hair. Because when they lose hair, they can engulf it and they can have problems. Well ventilated roof shade. And the last one is the slopy shed, so that can be clean. Now what are the diseases which trouble them? Let us see the causes and the effects. The causes, they are external and internal parasites. You must have seen the cows, they are having leeches on their body, or sometimes the bacterial and viral infections are there. What are the effects then? They will give less milk and death in severe cases. If the infections are high, they will be dead. So this will be a loss to a farmer. Sometimes worm affects their intestine and sometimes the flu damage their liver. So what should we give? We should give them vaccinations. The animals should be vaccinated properly as we do. Now let us talk about the poultry farming. Along with the cattle, we rear the poultry animals. They are the birds. So for what purpose? Egg production and chicken and meat broilers. So we will study three heads, that is crossbreeding, egg and broiler production and poultry diseases. These are the three heads under which we will study about poultry farm. Now what is crossbreeding? Again, we know that in the cattle also we breed the good breed or the foreign breed with the local breed. So that is the main importance in the crossbreeding. Now the crossbreeding in the Indian breed, that is if for the example we say a seal, and the foreign breed, that is like horn. So if we crossbreed them, we'll get the desired character in the poultry animals. So what are those desirable traits? Number of and quality of chicks. Because when we sell chickens, we should get good quality. Then broiler parent for commercial chick production. So they should be small in size. Then summer adaptation, they should sustain in summer, they should be tolerant to high temperature. Low maintenance required, they should feed on low nutrients or with small quantity of food. So the reduction in size of the egg laying animals will increase the quality of the poultry animals. So let us talk about egg and broiler production. What should we do? For the broiler chicken, we should feed them with vitamin D supplementary feed, because care should be taken to avoid mortality, because if they will die, again the poultry person will be in trouble. And the daily food requirement, that is protein rich with adequate fat and level of vitamin A and K is kept high in the poultry feeds. They should be fed properly, they should be kept properly in an air place. Now, good production of poultry birds depends upon the temperature and the hygienic condition in housing. How good you keep them, they are healthy, then they will give you good production. Now poultry feed as well as prevention control of the diseases in pests. So what type of diseases? Every living being is attacked by virus or bacteria or fungus or parasite, and sometimes they have the nutritional deficiencies. So how we should keep them? If we maintain the temperature and hygienic condition in the poultry, they will be healthy and the production will be good. So every poultry farm should have proper light and neatness. Now what are the causes of diseases in the poultry birds? They may be virus, they may be bacteria, fungi, parasite, or sometimes if you do not provide them proper nutrition, they will have deficiencies in their nutrition. So how to prevent it? We should keep the poultry clean, good sanitation should be there, appropriate vaccination should be given, and at regular time intervals the disinfectant should be sprayed in the area so that it can protect the birds from diseases. So these are some prevention techniques to reduce the loss of poultry. Every time when we try to keep them healthy, proper vaccination should be given, and this makes the production high, and the person who is rearing the animals or keeping the poultry will get a good profit. So these are some varieties, and I have collected it from ICAR Director of Poultry Research. So you can see the names are Vanaraja, Gram Priya, Krishi Bro, Krishi Layer and Srinidhi. So these are some varieties which are developed by our Indian scientists, and there is a branch in ICAR for the poultry animals. If you want, you can visit that site. Now it's the time for the summary of the chapter. So let us see the summary and tips. Now half of the chapter, that is the cattle farming, we have read. So what do we see about cattle farming? That is milk production, animal shelter, food requirements and cattle diseases. In poultry farming, we studied about the crossbreeding for desirable traits, food requirement and care, and diseases and vaccination. This was all about the cattle farming and the poultry farming. In the next coming part, we'll study about fish production and beekeeping. So keep yourself ready for the next part of our chapter, that is improvement in food resources part 3. So if you have any question, you can ask me, and this is all about the cattle farming and poultry. So if you want to know more, you can visit ICAR site. There you will come to know that how our Indian scientists are working day and night to get a good production in the field of animal husbandry. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.